ridiculous. It's like, why even bother? You could not feel alcohol. Towards the end of 2005, things just spiraled. I lost the apartment. We had to move back in with my ex, which was really stupid. And he was still drinking and he was drunk, and we would lock this is with my kids this whole time. I would lock us into the one room that we shared. He would try beating the door down. I mean, this was not a good environment, but almost all of my money would go to drugs. And the way that I made money was not anything that I'm really proud of, but I mean, drugs make you do stuff that you normally would not do. What happened was, after the business kind of spiraled down, all the inventory that I had, which was a bunch of children's clothing, I was selling off to a children's resale store. And that was really good, as long as I still had all my inventory from the store, because before they came and locked the doors, because I wasn't paying rent on the store, before they came and locked the doors on me, I got all the inventory out. So I had like a garage full of inventory, and I would take the inventory into this place. They would buy it from me. So I had fairly steady money coming in until that was gone. And then I started stealing after that. I started stealing from every department store that you could probably think of. I was stealing kids' clothes so I could take it and sell it. And it escalated because I needed as much money as I could get. And I would take toys from places I knew.
How much, like a week, were the drugs costing you?
Oh my gosh. Well, if you figure, I mean, it kind of depended. I needed at least $50 a day.
Wow.
I needed at least $50 a day. Side of myself, it was like, oh my gosh, this has got to stop. I can't keep waking up thinking, okay, how am I making money today? I mean, I just remember thinking this is such a vicious cycle. I'm like waking up wondering where I'm going to go to steal something, to make money, to get drugs. If I'm lucky, I'm going to get the drugs, because drug dealers, you never know. They're not steady and they don't show up on time. I mean, I must have spent so much time waiting in parking lots just for somebody to show up with some stuff. I mean, it was ridiculous. This is how I lived every day. It was this way. And then if I didn't have any and I came down, that was hard, really hard, because I never wanted to even function then. I ended up getting arrested or being pulled over. And this one time, because I'd been pulled over for tickets and stuff before, but this one time the cop had an inkling that I was on something. That was probably the first time that one had happened. And I guess what happened was he thought I was high. I had some stuff on me. He found it in my purse. I tried to say it was somebody else's, and he's like, whose? Let's go over to their house, and I finally gave in. And I knew right then that this was going to be a drug thing, that was it. And right then, it was like, I basically just said to God, I said, you know what, God, I'm ready to give my life to you. I'd never I mean, I was fairly religious when I was younger, or I was raised very Catholic, and I learned to fear God. But you know what? I think there was just part of me right at that moment at times. Something happened to me, and I knew I needed help, and I was at the bottom. I mean, we lived in one room. We didn't have anything. I mean, all of this stuff. And now I was being arrested, and I knew I was going to go to jail, and I didn't know what was going to happen. And I was very serious, and I said, okay, God, you know what? I'm giving my life to you. And I went to jail. And I went to Huntington Beach, where they held me. And then when I went to court, they put me on the farm in Irvine. And I was there for like 2 weeks. And I knew at that point in time, I knew right then my life was going to change. It was really hard. I was having nightmares when I was sleeping because I was coming down from the drugs. But I do know this, that everything changed. It was completely different. I was sentenced to Prop 36, which you have to do AA meetings, and that was great too to start off. It was really good. The higher power thing. I mean, if I'd known anything about CR back then, I probably would have preferred to go to that. Prop 36 thing led to me going to school, which was suggested to me by one of the counselors, and just things changed completely. But I wanted to stop, and I knew God was on my side, and so that was just the very beginning.
So the higher power part of AA really made all the difference?
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. I even had to tell the kids, okay, you guys aren't going to get stuff like you did. I mean, they knew what I did, and it's like, that's stopping. We're not getting any more of these like things that you get because of that. And they were sad, but they weren't. I think they just knew. I mean, they couldn't even believe that I was arrested for drugs. And but I was very honest with them about everything at that point. I said, we're going to go to church. My desires for drugs were completely gone. Completely gone. And
so that was kind of my last question is, do you ever miss the high, miss
No,
the lifestyle?
no, I really don't. I never have any desire to want to go and do it. No, in fact, I think about the craziness and go, oh my God, thank you, thank you, but no. No, nothing. I do not miss any of it. I don't see people high and think, oh, or see people drinking and think, oh, no, 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 no. I'm sure there's a lot of things I left out, but that's pretty much the gist of it.
All right, well, that's great. Okay, thank you.